Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel. Peter likes books. So we're going to do the original Male Booktuber Tag today. That was designed by Jayesh Shaya, who, I love this booktuber, and he's a little bit newer, and I've actually talked about him on my channel before. And he listed me on his original video as one of his favorite channels. Actually, I was #1. Get it. So anyway, and then he also tagged me in the video. I have to tell you, I don't know why, but I was like really apprehensive to do this tag. Because you can't be a booktuber and also a male booktuber and not notice that there aren't a lot of guys on booktube. There just aren't, you know? And so it's not like it's this big deal though. And so like when I was watching the tag, I was like, oh, this could get very, very dangerous, right? Like you could really piss off a lot of people if they think that what you're saying is out of line or whatever. And I was like, I don't know that I really want to do this tag. And then I was like, you know what? Like I do notice that there aren't a lot of guys on booktube. So I'm going to do the tag. I was looking at a lot of the other videos. There's been a ton of people that have done this video. So I thought, you know what the hell? My 2 cents is worth just everybody else's, so let's do it. So here we will get, he underneath here tagged a whole bunch of people, and I do want to say this before I get into this, and I just looked, I think there's like 71 or 73. Connor O'Brien on his channel has a list of like the majority of male booktubers. I mean, 72 or 73 is quite a few male booktubers out there. And he has a whole playlist, so you can go there, and if you really want to be introduced to more male booktubers, it's a great place to go find that. And for me, I don't really care. I like to just have a discussion with somebody about a book. So I'm more attracted to somebody that likes the same kind of books that I do. You know, all of that aside, gender, sexuality, age, all that kind of stuff is not super important to me as long as the book interests. But I will say this, when having discussions about books, I think the diversity on BookTube is important because I think then what happens is it opens this discussion to having different kinds of conversations. Whereas if you just have the same kind of people from the same kind of places who have the same kind of historical backgrounds and all of that, you're not really getting different points of view. And so you may only ever see a book from one point of view. And I think that the diversity on BookTube is really, really important. So it's not just to me about a male or female thing. It's about diversity in general. So let's just get into these questions. Number 1. Do you think there's a lack of male booktubers? If so, why? You know, like, okay, so I don't know that I think that there's a lack. You know, I think that I like the male booktubers that are out there. I have some of my favorites. I have some people that I don't follow. You know, and there's actually, I think, this Brazilian guy, and he has, like, I can never remember his name, it's like Luis something, but he has, like, tons of subscribers, right? And, I mean, he's a male booktuber, and I don't really ever hear anybody talk about him, but, like, he does regular videos, and I should have found out who he is first. Somebody will list it below, so you can comment below and who it is. And, you know, like, I think that if you're looking for a male YouTuber that fits a certain thing, there's a lot of us out there. So I don't know that there is a lack of it. I think to say there's a lack of male YouTubers is saying that it's oversaturated with female booktubers instead of just saying we're readers. And I think that's what's really important is that let's just break down the boundaries of differentiating each other and let's just talk about the fact that we love to read. And that's what I think the commonality between all of us is. Would I like to see more guys that are on BookTube? Absolutely. Because I think for me, it would give me a varying, you know, idea of what other men are reading. And I have to say, I was just watching a video. I have never seen this video that he put up, and I watch almost all of his videos, and it's Kevin, the Irish Reader, I think is his channel. And he did a video, I think it was like last November, called All Male Booktubers Are Gay. And he was talking about this like misnomer that, you know, like if you're a booktuber, then you're immediately gay. I mean, that's not true. Like Richard from Richard's Books is not, is he? I don't know. Anyway, so, but there's a lot of male booktubers out there that are not gay. And sometimes what's funny, I love Richard, so that is totally just some shade I'm throwing. I absolutely adore him, and he knows that. But, you know, like, I think there's a lot of male booktubers out there that are not gay or bisexual or fit into the, you know, the LGBTQ plus, you know, area. And I think that what's interesting about that is it, for me, opens a completely different avenue. And I have to say that a lot of them that I've done like buddy reads with, we will read something that is LGBTQ+, and they give me a completely different perspective on it than I would normally have. Boo Radley, not the time. So anyway, PP is right here. Somebody asked me the other day, they're like, you never put your adorable little dogs in your booktube videos anymore. Are they okay? I'm like, yeah, they're fine. They just drive me nuts. But anyway, and I think for me, it's just opening up to all different kinds of perspectives, you know, and being open-minded to that. And I will tell you, you know, as a booktuber that has other YouTube channels, it's not as welcoming in other areas of YouTube. It just isn't. You know, and I think to some degree, we're in a very safe area on BookTube where we can share our opinions with each other and people don't get super hurt about it as long as they have it and they say it and they present it in, you know, an intelligent way. And I think that that's something that we have over here that other communities don't. And I'm so, so proud to be part of that. Number 2, would you like to see more male booktubers and why? Yeah, I'd like to see more male booktubers. I'd like to see more cute gay male booktubers. I mean, I'm not stupid. What's hotter than a sexy guy that likes to read? I mean, let's just be for real, okay? Come for me, I'm just being honest, you know? I mean, they don't even have to be gay. I just like to sit there and listen and read. I told this story not too long ago on one of my videos, I think it was my booktube video, that I was at brunch with my husband and there was this guy in the middle of this super busy restaurant and he was reading this book and it ended up being, I found out it was Neil Gaiman's Stardust. And he was just like sitting there reading it and he was so cute and, you know, rolled jeans and wingtips and just like he couldn't be bothered with anything that was going on around him. He was drinking coffee and eating these like croissant pancakes. And I was like, that man is so sexy. My husband goes, he is really cute, isn't he? And I go, yeah, and the book really helps. So, you know, I think like, for me, I just like to see a varied state. I mean, listen, I'm just gonna be honest. I just wanna see some more male booktubers out there. I don't need to explain why. It's just not that deep. I'm not a bullshit artist, okay? Number 3, how do you think we as a community can attract more males to booktube? This tag video has become a shit show at this point. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's interesting because all of the people that contact me and say, I'm afraid of starting a channel are not men, they're women. So, you know, I think the fear of starting a booktube channel, well, I will say this. I think that if booktube was a little bit more open to different kinds of reading, because I think that there are a lot of, you know, I think there's more of the men that come on that are heterosexual don't always tend to read young adult. And there is a lot of young adult on BookTube. Let's just not even bullshit about it, okay? There's tons. I mean, and that's all I read. I love it, you know? But there's a ton of it. Now, I don't know, to be honest with you, like when I go out to dinner with couples, I don't know many of my husband friends that are 40 years old that are reading Sender. They're going to, you know, work as pharmacists and Eli Lilly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just being honest, okay? I mean, they're reading like self-help books and they're reading like John Grisham, but they're not reading, you know, like Marissa Meyer, The Lunar Chronicles. They just aren't, okay? And I can get slammed for that all day long, but that's the truth. And I think that if we were more honest with different kinds of reading out there and what's out there, and one of the reasons why I love Adam and Memento Mori is that he has really opened my eyes to so many different kinds of books out there, and he has like this passion for them in the same way that I have passion for like young adult novels. And he's really, like Raymond Chandler is somebody that I have fallen in love with because of him. And so I think that if we were more open to different kinds of books on BookTube, and I don't think anybody's closed-minded to it, I just don't think we watch those videos as much. And I have been trying to watch more booktubers that read different kinds of things because I don't know everything that I like until I read it, right? And Adam's real cute too, doesn't hurt. So anyway, okay, the next one is, do you think having more males on BookTube will enhance the BookTube experience? I mean, I think it'll give it a different perspective. I don't know that I necessarily think it'll help it or hurt it. I think that it will help it to grow. I mean, I have a real unpopular opinion about this. I think that if we could get past the same 10 booktubers always talking about everything and everybody going to them, and we could like maybe bring that number from 10 to like, let's say 60 of very popular booktubers, I think that would be a bigger, you know, a widespread perspective of, hey, like it's not just about this person's perspective or that person's perspective and they all review the same book in the same month, but you know, like we have 60 different people and we're all going and diversifying applying to these. And I think that would be more interesting to me. I mean, to be honest with you, and I love a lot of booktubers, but I do get tired of hearing the same old names sometimes. Don't you? Let's just be for real for a second, okay? Number 5, check the gender divide of your viewers in your analytics. Scroll down to find out how to do this. Okay, so I did that, and it's like 30, I think it was like 37, whatever. The split would be, but it was 37 male, 30% male. Now, I have to tell you, I think a lot of mine is overlap from my other channels. So I don't know that I think that that's a fair perspective just to be on BookTube. And you know, I think that's rather high, actually, for a BookTube channel, that high a percentage of guys are watching my BookTube videos, where I am talking about young adult things, and I mean, it just must be because I'm so hot. I can't imagine any other reason why. Come on, I mean, seriously. Okay, and number 6, name a few of your favorite male booktubers. Well, of course, Jaish, because he put me in the tag, so why couldn't I love him? Richard at Richard's Books, or Richard's Book Nook. I get channel names wrong all the time. I'm sorry, you guys. Connor O'Brien, you guys know I adore him. I don't even read the books he reads, and I just love to do his reviews. I love his dog unboxings, all of it. Adam and Memento Mori, I love him. I watch all of his reviews. He's really gotten me to kind of like open my mind to a lot of different books. Philippe at the YA Reader. One of the reasons why I love Philippe, he's from Portugal, is that he is really on Twitter and in his videos started to open up and grow up and talk about who he is as a person in relation to his books. I think that's phenomenal. It's not just a BookTube channel. You know, Dylan the Reader 5. Dylan should get an award for being the most active BookTube Twitter person. I mean, he is literally, I don't even know how he reads, but I have gotten so many recommendations from him, and you know, he's like 17, and I think that's phenomenal. All of these younger people are like loving to read this much, and it's just, that's so cool to me. Graham at Mega Man Chief Fan, he is hands down, and I mean, I think he's 17 as well. From 17 all the way to 60, the most well-read person I have ever met in my entire life. I mean, unbelievably so. He literally goes through books like that quick. He's read things that are like on master level literature classes. I'm just always super impressed with what he reads. And he doesn't read a lot of young adult, which I think is very, very cool. And he just keeps on plugging these videos out. One of the things that I love, I know I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, Kevin at The Irish Reader. Who else do I, Adotto at He Reads. I really like his videos. Rob at Books and Bobs, he doesn't make as many videos as he used to, but I love his videos too. You know, I just think that one of the things that's really cool is getting to know booktubers all across the world, not just male, not just female. I've made so many really good friends as a result of that, and I just think it's an awesome experience. I mean, why wouldn't we want to be part of that? Like, and the other thing is that I don't want to exclude anybody because of gender. I think like in 2017, aren't we past that? Like, I don't know. It's just not super important to me today. I think that being respected for gender is more important to me than differentiating for a gender. I do think it's a good question. I do think it's interesting to see why there's not that many male booktubers around. But I mean, you know, I will tell you this, like when I was in going to school to get my undergraduate degree, which is in creative writing and literature, if you walked into any class, it was probably 50-50 male-female. It was not like 30-70 or 20-80. So it's interesting to me that BookTube has, you know, a different kind of split. That being said, there aren't tons and tons of tons. Oh, Benjamin of Tomes, George Lester. I can't believe I forgot both of those. I adore them. I don't think there are tons and tons and tons of male booktubers that succeed past a certain number. Jesse the Reader is kind of it, and I love him, and he was who introduced me to BookTube. And so I think like to see that for all of us is kind of like, well, are we doing it for the numbers, or are we doing it just because we love books? For me, I do it just because I like books. I like books. Peter likes books. So yeah, I don't know. I'd love for there to be more guys on there. Maybe we should like go out and advertise and... But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and I just love being part of BookTube. I love watching BookTube videos, and I am so excited for BookTube 2017. So anyway, that's my point of view on it. I actually, to be really honest with you, I don't give it much thought. I just don't. And maybe that's stupid, and maybe that's petty, and maybe I do need to think more about it, but I just don't. Like, I love people. and I love people that read. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.